Hi, today we're going to be learning about using tables of ordered pairs to plot points and draw graphs. First, I want to remind you about points on the Cartesian plane. The Cartesian plane is made up of an x-axis, which is horizontal, and a y-axis, which is vertical. The x-axis is where y is equal to 0, and the y-axis is where x is equal to 0. And the point where they intersect over here is called the origin, and that is the point where x and y are both 0. The Cartesian plane is divided up into 4 quadrants. The first quadrant over here is where x and y are both positive. In the second quadrant over here, the x values are negative and the y values are positive. In quadrant 3, which is this one, the x and y values are all negative. And in quadrant 4, which is this one, the x values are positive and the y values are negative. Any point on the Cartesian plane, so over here I've got a point on the Cartesian plane, can be identified using an x value, which is the x coordinate, and a y value, which is the y coordinate. The x and y coordinates are written as an ordered pair. When we write an ordered pair, x always goes first and y always goes second, and it tells us the position of the point on the Cartesian plane. So these coordinates over here, this ordered pair, tells us where this point is on the Cartesian plane. Okay, now we're going to go to an example where we're going to practice plotting points and drawing a graph from a table of ordered pairs. Okay, so here's our example over here. We've got the equation y equals 2x minus 4, and we have to complete the table for that equation, and then we have to draw a graph. Okay, so if I take the equation y equals 2x minus 4 and I put in negative 3 for x, that's going to give me 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6. Minus 4 is negative 10. So this over here is going to be negative 10. Then if x is negative 2, I have 2 times negative 2, which is negative 4. Minus 4 is negative 8. If x is negative 1, I've got 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2. Minus 4 gives me negative 6. If x is 0, then I've got 2 times 0, which is 0. Minus 4 gives me negative 4. If x is 1, then I've got 2 times 1, which is 2. Minus 4 gives me negative 2. If x is 2, then I have 2 times 2, which is 4. Minus 4 gives me 0. And if x is 3, then I've got 2 times 3, which is 6. Minus 4 gives me 2. So these are the y values that I get for the x values that I've got in the table over here. So this over here is going to be a set of coordinates. I've got an x value and a y value that go together. So now I'm going to go and plot these points. So when I plot it, I'm going to have the point negative 3, negative 10, negative 2, negative 8, negative 1, negative 6, 0, negative 4, 1, negative 2, 2, 0, and 3, 2. So let's go and plot those points over here. So the first point I'm going to plot is this one over here. It was the negative 3, negative 10. Then I have the point negative 2, negative 8. Then negative 1, negative 6. Then I've got 0, negative 4. Then I've got 1, negative 2. Then 2, 0, and then I've got 3, 2. So now I've plotted all of the points. Now we're going to go and take a ruler. You always need to make sure you do this neatly. So you take a ruler and you draw a line that goes all the way through those points like that. Put an arrow on the two ends like that. And then you need to go and label the graph and say what the name or the equation of this graph is. The equation for this graph was y equals 2x minus 4. So we need to label the graph with its equation. Okay, so that is what you're going to be doing in the examples that we're going to be doing today. So you're going to start off by taking the equation you've been given, finding the y values and filling them in on a table, then plotting them on a Cartesian plane and drawing the graph and labeling it. Okay, so let's go to our first one that you're going to do for yourself now. So here you've got the equation y equals x plus 7. You've got your table that you need to complete and you need to draw the graph. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to complete this question. Okay, so let's go through that and see what you should have got. So first of all, if x is -3, you should have got 4 for y. Then if x is -2, y is 5. If x is -1, y is 6. If x is 0, y is 7. If x is 1, y is 8. If x is 2, y is 9. And if x is 3, y is 10. Okay, so those are our coordinates that we're going to be using. The first pair of coordinates is -3, 4. We've got -2, 5, -1, 6, 0, 7, 1, 8, 2, 9, and 3, 10. So now when we're going to plot that on the graph, it's going to look like this. So our first point is -3, 4. Then we've got -2, 5, -1, 6, 0, 7, 1, 8, 2, 9, and 3, 10. Then when you join that up, you should get a line that looks like this. And then you have to label that graph y equals x plus 7. Okay, now we're going to go on to the next question. In this question, you've got the equation y equals -3x plus 2. You're going to do the exact same thing again. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes for this one as well. Okay, so let's go through that. So for this one over here, if x is -3, you should have found that y is 11. If x is -2, y is 8. If x is -1, y is 5. If x is 0, y is 2. If x is 1, y is -1. If x is 2, y is -4. And if x is 3, y is -7. Then when you plot this on the Cartesian plane, our first point is the point -3, 11. Then we have -2, 8, then we have -1, 5, then 0, 2, then 1, -1, then 2, -4, and 3, -7. And when you join it up, it should look like this. And then you have to go and label the graph, and that is y equals -3x plus 2. Okay, now we're going to go on to the next one. For this question, you've got the equation y equals 4x. I'm going to give you 2 minutes for this one as well. Okay, so let's go through that quickly. So for this one, with the equation y equals 4x, if x is negative 3, you should have found that y is equal to negative 12. If x is negative 2, y is negative 8. If x is negative 1, y is negative 4. If x is 0, y is also 0. If x is 1, y is 4. If x is 2, y is 8. And if x is 3, y is 12. Right, so then when you plot this on the Cartesian plane, it should look like this. So your first point is negative 3, negative 12. Then we have negative 2, negative 8, negative 1, negative 4, 0, 0, which is the origin, 1, 4, 2, 8, and 3, 12. Then when we join it up, it should look like that. And you need to label your graph with the equation y equals 4x. Okay, let's go on to the next question. In this one, you've got the equation y equals 5. I'm going to give you 2 minutes for this one as well. Okay, so let's go through this one. So with the equation y equals 5, this is different to any of the equations we've had so far. The equation is telling us that y is equal to 5 and there's no x in the equation, which means that y is equal to 5 regardless of what x is. So if x is negative 3, y is 5. If x is negative 2, y is still going to be 5. If x is negative 1, y is still going to be 5. If x is 0, y is 5. If x is 1, y is still 5. If x is 2, y is 5. And if x is 3, y is 5. Doesn't matter what the x value is, y is always going to be 5. Okay, so when we go and plot this on the Cartesian plane, this is what it's going to look like. We've got the point negative 3, 5, negative 2, 5, negative 1, 5, 0, 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, and 3, 5. And then when we draw a line through it, it's going to look like this. You've got a line that's horizontal and parallel to the x-axis. And then we need to go and label the line with the equation y equals 5. Okay, let's go on to the next one. In this one, you've got the equation x equals negative 8. I'm going to give you 2 minutes for this one as well. Okay, so let's go through this one. Now, in this one, you were given the equation x equals -8, which is a very similar concept to what we had in the previous one, where we were given the equation y equals 5. In this case, we're being told that x is always going to be equal to -8. There's no y in the equation. So the value of y is not going to affect the fact that x is equal to -8. So if y is -3, x will be -8. If y is -2, x will still be -8. If y is -1, x is -8. If y is 0, x is -8. If y is 1, x is -8. If y is 2, x is still -8. And if y is 3, x is still -8. Doesn't matter what y is, x will always be equal to -8. So when we go and plot this on the Cartesian plane, it's going to look like this. So our points that we are plotting, the first one is going to be the point -8, -3. Then we've got the point -8, -2. Then -8, -1, -8, 0, -8, 1, -8, 2, and -8, 3. And when we go and draw a line through this, you end up with a vertical line which is parallel to the y-axis. And we label that line with the equation x equals -8. Okay, let's go on to the next one. In this question, you've got the equation y equals -x squared plus 9. I'm going to give you 2 minutes for this one as well. Okay, so let's go through this one. So you should have found with this equation that if x is -3, then y is 0. If x is -2, y is 5. If x is -1, y is 8. If x is 0, y is 9. If x is 1, y is 8. If x is 2, y is 5. And if x is 3, y is 0. So when we go and plot this on the Cartesian plane, it should look something like this. So our first point was the point -3, 0. Then we had the point -2, 5. Then we had -1, 8. Then 0, 9, 1, 8, 2, 5, and 3, 0. Now obviously for this one, you can't use a ruler to join this up because it's not a straight line. This is a curve called a parabola. And when you join it up, it should look something like this. And then you go and label the graph with the equation y equals -x squared plus 9. Right, let's go on to the last one for today. Here you've got the equation y equals x squared plus 4x minus 5. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to do this one. Okay, so let's go through that question. So you should have found that if x is negative 4, y is negative 5. If x is negative 3, y is negative 8. If x is negative 2, y is negative 9. If x is negative 1, y is negative 8. If x is 0, y is negative 5. If x is 1, y is 0. And if x is 2, y is 7. Okay, so now if we go and plot those on the Cartesian plane, it should look like this. So our first point is the point negative 4, negative 5. Then we have the point negative 3, negative 8. Then negative 2, negative 9. Then negative 1, negative 8. Then 0, negative 5. The point 1, 0. And finally the point 2, 7. And when you join this up, you should get a graph that looks like this. And then we label it with the equation y equals x squared plus 4x minus 5. And that's what that graph should look like. And that's how we use tables of ordered pairs to plot points and draw graphs. Now that we've learned the concepts in this lesson, it's important to practice, practice, practice. If you haven't already got the worksheet that goes with this video, you can find it by clicking on the link in the description below. The worksheet comes with an extra exercise full of questions for you to work on to master the concepts covered in this lesson. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button so that others can benefit from it too. Also, be sure to subscribe so that you can easily find my other lessons, and hit the bell so that you will get notified about lessons as I upload them.